Hello, welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. We're your hosts, James
and Stephanie.
Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we're passionate about great music and a good vocal. We'll use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you our feedback on each contestant. We'll give you our feedback on their voice and their overall performance. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we'll always keep it 100 with our feedback and the critique of each contestant's vocal and overall performance. What we're not here to do is come for anyone's character or any contestant as a human being. While we may come off a little pitchy at times, if you know what I mean, we'll always do our best to speak our truths in love, kindness, and respect. And with that, let's get started with Stephanie. What night are we on in regards to the battle?
Is this night 4?
I think it might be night 4. I'm thrown off.
It's night 4.
I'm thrown off because the battle started on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it is night 4 because this is episode 84, so they're kind of coinciding.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? It was one of our 2-hour nights, so yes. We're not going to tarry, and we're going to jump right into these battles because Stephanie and I are so excited to talk about all of the battles last night. They were epic. Some of them were just, woo! Anyway, we'll get there. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, Stephanie, who do we have first?
Up first was from Team Reba. We had Leigh and we had Boogie. And oh, y'all, they sang one of my country favorites, Joslynn by the Dolly Parton.
Joslynn.
Listen. Hey.
Hey. Goodness. I said, you know what? This is the perfect song for the country. I said, you know what? I said, this was country.
Country.
Country. It wasn't just pop country. It wasn't just country. It wasn't country western. No, it was grand old opry country. Okay?
Country, yes.
And you got Leigh and you got Mr. Boogie coming in. Let me tell you, I wasn't ready.
Me neither.
I wasn't ready. But what I did expect before they even opened their mouths, I said, this song is all about the storytelling.
That's right.
You got to set the picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made this song so heartbreaking when Dolly first did it.
Mm-hmm.
There have been renditions of this song, some good, some okay, some some pitchy. I mean, not pitchy, but pitchy meaning But let me tell you, last night's performance was a fantastic one.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Leigh, seriously, sis, how can you be 6'9"? I'm not gonna seriously, daughter. How can you be? You're young enough to be my kid. How can you be 16 years young and singing the way it's supposed to be sung?
Right.
I said, you've never been in a relationship. You've never had your heart broken in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I love your story to say, but I have been in a time of desperation.
Right.
When she talked about, evading a tornado and having the tornado incident in her hometown, in her home. And I said, one of the things that is so spectacular about Leigh, if you listen to the name Joslynn, she sung it different every time. Every time this young girl sang the name Joslynn, it was like a plea, a question, almost anger, disbelief. Like it was like evoking all these emotions. And I was like, girl, where are you getting this from?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I love how you sing Joslynn different every time. I said, but Al, and somebody brought it up. I forget, it was John or Niall or somebody said, you're a dude singing this song. So
right.
How are you going to figure out? I was wondering how you want to figure out how to relate. Because this song is about a woman stealing another woman's man.
That's right.
Now, it could happen in reverse.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, I said, I could hear the complete story in your voice as well.
Listen.
It's like you all were storytellers.
Yes.
Telling this story. and like I saw this image,
Yeah.
and it was just crazy. Al, there was a point in this song, sir, that you snapped and you just went into this high, almost growl. And I was like, dude, where did the range come from?
Listen.
All that range. I said, Al, you need to sing up there in your top register, your heady kind of mix, kind
Yeah.
of belt
Yeah.
voice more often.
Yeah.
I said it was like a new Al. It was crazy. I didn't hear like I heard in your audition, where I felt like it was a little game showy, like your voice was a little game show, not like the way a game show person talks is the way I felt you sang.
Mm-hmm.
But no. This was all character. This was all levels. This was all depths. I heard the desperation.
Yes.
I heard it all. I said, I love your top and I love your grit. But I love that you didn't do it too much.
Right.
It was like, let me show you a little bit more that I can do. And, you know, Stephanie and I always love a good slip in, like
Come
a good,
on, slip.
let me just slip this right in to remind you, I got different range. I got range. You know,
That's
I
right.
can do all these different things, but I'm not going to give you too much. Just
Right.
gonna give you a bit, just boop.
Right.
So you'll be wanting for more. And,
That's right.
and I felt like that with you. I said, this was a great compliment to each other because, again, I didn't feel like it was weird because Leigh is 16 and Al's grown man with his husband and he's a dad.
Right.
Like, I didn't feel it was strange.
Right.
I felt, again, we were sitting maybe around a campfire and somebody was like, ding, 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 like, because the guitar is telling the story too.
Yes.
Think about this song and the accompaniment. And again, I said that was country Joslynn. I loved every bit of it. You know, honestly, I thought if I could be honest, I thought Leigh was going to run away with this, but I don't think so at all. Stalemate. I feel like both of them brought it, and it was equally as powerful for different reasons coming from both ends. But it was country, it was story, and I loved it. Stephanie?
I will concur exactly what you said. Because after hearing Lee's audition, I was like, anybody going up against Leigh? Sorry. But Al brought it.
He really did.
The really brilliant thing that he did was he showed every bit of his range in the song. And there was even during the second verse, I think he did the lead on. And he started off low for the first half of the verse. And he went to his upper range in the second part of the verse. And I was like, this is brilliant. There were parts where he was leading, but he was doing a harmony part.
Yes.
During the lead, because that's where he could show an upper range and it still fit within the song. The way that he dissected this song to find spots to show his range was absolutely brilliant. And the execution of it was perfection. Like you said, I felt him. He emoted this song better than what I thought he was going to be able to, given the content of the song.
Yeah.
But the content of the song, let this be a lesson for everybody singing any song. Whether you think you can personally connect or not, you better find a way. And these two, who probably couldn't personally connect to the song, found a way to emote the song and make it their own and make it believable. Al Boogie, dude, you laid that vocal down. It was so impressive. Miss Leigh, she come out the gate, and I'm like, how are you able to sell and emote this song the way that you are, with your face, with your vocal, with your body? How are you doing this at 16? Like, I hate to keep harping on that, but it's so important that people realize, because if you look at her on stage, she doesn't look 16.
No, not
she
at all.
looks older than that, but she's 16. Incredible. The grit, the break in her voice. Did you hear like the slight yodel she was doing that were so like, they felt strategic.
Joslynn. Like, I was like, yo,
you. And like, I'm going to say that it was intentional because they were so well placed. They were they felt so intentional to tell the story of the heartbreak. Like she was breaking her voice to show the heartbreak of the song.
Inspiration.
Their harmonies together were delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. When they came together, I was just like, Jolene, yes, Jolene. And last I will say, this song and a couple others this evening, which is a difference, were a little bit more up-tempo.
Yeah.
A little bit more up-tempo.
Mm-hmm.
And the breath support of it all. Like neither one of them ever felt like they were losing their breath in the song. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was awesome. So who wound up winning the battle?
Reba had a very difficult decision.
She did.
And Miss Ruby Leigh won.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Al did not get stolen. I think that he was one of the strongest of the night.
Absolutely.
I loved everything he brought. But I'm glad he did have a second chance to come back and show and moved on from the blinds to show what he really's got. He's a talent.
He's such a talent and just seems like an all around great guy.
He is. Absolutely. All right. So who do we have next?
Up next was from Team Gwen. We had Joslynn Rose and we had Rudi. And listen, Miss Gwen is not playing when it comes to these song selections, ladies and gentlemen. She chose for them My Immortal by Evanescence.
I wrote hard song. I wrote 5 hearts. I said, wow, Gwen, you ain't playing around.
No.
This is a difficult.
Gwen said, this is the voice. Y'all better come to sing.
It really, really was. I just was like, what I thought about this one. I love, first of all, I love this song. I love this song. Ooh. It's just such an ethereal. I mean, you could relate it to faith.
Yes.
It's just such an incredible song.
Yeah.
And you got to bring so many different layers, so many different colors to your voice. And you have to, this is a song, in my opinion, probably Stephanie's too, you got to be respectful to a song like this. Like, you can't take too many liberties or it'll just be, not authentic, in my opinion. And I thought these ladies did a wonderful job in that.
Right.
It's interesting because all the coaches loved what Joslynn did at the beginning. I liked what Joslynn did as far as the color to her voice. What I wanted was a little bit more breath because everyone knows that Joslynn can sing it down, right? But I wanted, it takes a little bit more breath support to be introspective, to be quiet, to keep your dynamics soft. It takes a little bit more intensity in your breath. And that's what I wanted from her in the beginning. I said, let me tell you, Rudi is singing this song down. I had to be like, what? Wait a second. What is she doing? Because it was so, I don't want to say understated, but it was just so chill about it. I said, she was setting an entire vibe. I said, Rudi got me very emotional because when the song is done right, you can get very emotional with it. I said, she made the perfect choices. And I felt that Joslynn sang this song well. I just felt like maybe this song, for as young as Joslynn is a little big for her. Meaning, I think she could come back and say 5 years.
Right.
And really do this song the justice that I know that she wanted to do, because I heard shades of brilliance from Joslynn. But I felt like there were some pitch issues throughout her performance, and I just felt like the song was a little big for her. And I don't know. I don't know if that's exactly fair, because giving a 17-year-old song like My Immortal, like, what?
16.
She was 16? Okay, even more. A 16-year-old song, My Immortal?
My immortal. No,
That's
no.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wow. Wow. Miss Rudi.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have words for you, young lady.
Yeah.
You personally were not on my radar, but Stephanie reminded me. She
I
said,
was
"Oh
ready.
no! She was on my radar,
Oh, yes. Oh,
and now
yes.
you are on my radar, young lady. That's crazy."
Yeah. So I actually did really like what Joslynn did at the beginning of the song. I felt like she gave this rich, deep, vulnerable tone at the beginning of the song, which I thought was perfect for the beginning of the song. But I think you nailed it when you talk about the breath support, because by the time that you get to the chorus where your voice is just allowed to soar, I think that she just did not have enough breath under her at the beginning of each part that she was singing to really support her vocal by the end, because that's where I felt like it was a little lacking. By the time she got to the end of her lines, it seems like there were some pitch issues there. I think, just like you said, come back in 5 years and sing this song, because I felt
Sure.
like she has the perfect or a perfect vocal for this song. Like her, the tone and the quality of her voice are really beautiful for this song. I just think that she just needs to work on the breath support to really
Yeah.
make the ends of those lines soar a little bit better. Rudi. Ru- Here's the thing about Rudi. Rudi made this song look easy.
She really did. And that's what it was. I was like, it was so understated because it looked effortless.
Yes. Rudi looked like this was singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the alphabet song. And I'm just like, this is my immortal. And why are you walking around the stage? And I'm not saying this as a criticism, but she
Right.
was just singing this song as if it was singing the alphabet song. And I just felt like that was so crazy. Like, but her vocal was delivering. And like you said, it wasn't understated, but you could see shades of the running that she could have done to this song to just like run it down.
Yeah.
But that would have been disrespectful for the song. So I loved how she picked her points of where she wanted to do a little flourish or a little stylistic wave or a little, just a little. And it was that just, somebody said, I believe one of the judges said that she was a very intelligent singer. Maybe it was even you when we were talking offline. Okay. So they said that she was a very intelligent with her choices. And I completely agreed with that, because she could have ran this song down and she could have just completely just murdered the song, but she did in her own way with her rendition. Here's who she sounded like to me. I was like, oh, is this the second coming of Shoshana Bean, the Broadway star?
Oh my goodness. She sort of does. She was giving me Shoshana, like that effortless, like sing down singing.
The effortless sing down with a splash of R&B, but
Yep.
a bright tone and a
Yep.
quivery vibrato.
Low Broadway.
Low Broadway.
Little R&B, little pop.
Yes.
Little everything.
Yes.
Yeah. She showed me. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because Showbean can sing it straight, but she can also sing it down with any R&B singer around.
That's right.
So,
That's right. Yeah.
I agree. Oh, that's a good one, Steph. I agree with you 100%. That's a good one.
So it was a great performance. It was a great performance.
So who wound up winning?
Rudi won this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rudi took it. Took it. Again, I think Joslynn, because Joslyn's that good of a singer, I think if it would have been a different song, it could have been a different outcome, because Joslyn's really good.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, great. Who do we have next?
Next up was from Team Nile. It was Noah Spencer and Reid Zingale, and they sang Lego House by Ed Sheeran,
which is a song that I am actually not that familiar with, but I loved it, and I can't wait to go listen to Ed's version of this song. I said, Noah, young sir, young man, I said, oh, and please, Noah, this is a compliment, and I'll tell you why after I tell you. I said, I hear Appalachia all in your voice. All in it. And Noah, I say this as one of the biggest compliments because both my parents are from West Virginia, so they are from Appalachia.
That's right.
And let me tell you, I'm first generation out of Appalachian Mountains. So I know what that sounds like. And you have that all in the throat, sir. All in the throat. And I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I said, I love Reid's tone and artistry. Like, his tone matches his artistry. And I said, it's nuts. I said, it's just nuts. I said, they're both nuts. I said, this is a Grammy performance. This is like two established artists, like some of the best performers will come together at the Grammys and it'll just be simpatico. Like, it'll just be just perfect.
Yeah.
I said, I put just two regular dudes singing their faces off. I said, that's what it was. I was like, both of them are very unassuming. They just look like, regular guys, right?
Right.
Regular guys you'd be friends with, just regular guys. But let me tell you, the artistry and the tone and the sounds that were coming from these two gentlemen's mouths, from these two gentlemen's throats, like, it was just magical.
Right.
I said, and the one thing about Noah is he's almost apologetic about his talent.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. Like, he was just like, thanks. Like, and I forget, Noah's only 20. Like, so he's a really young guy.
Yes. Yes.
And I know Reid is, I mean, his story was amazing about the sacrifice. He's married, but has to go. He's a working musician that goes to Nashville on a, weekly.
Yeah.
And the sacrifice that he has to make. And I love this. I love this. It was just like a jam session at the highest caliber. At the highest caliber. I thought they complement each other, two totally different voices, but it was all about the complimenting of each other. And I just loved it. I got to do more research with this song because that little fast section in there in the middle, I said, that is Ed Sheeran 100%. I said 100%. And I was like, okay, I get it, Ed. I see what you're doing.
Ed Sheeran is always going to give you a little bit of a rhyme in the middle somewhere. A little bit.
I was like, okay, Ed, I see you. But I thought this was a really, really solid performance, Grammy-worthy performance. It was really good from both. Like, I couldn't have picked a winner. Because I thought they were both sensational.
I agree. There was one element that I think won it for the winner.
Okay.
But just talking pound for pound, their vocals are so different. Yeah. Reid has this like bright, lovely, gentle, pure, just beautiful tone, which I think lends itself better for this particular song.
I agree.
Because it's a bright, happy kind of song, whereas Noah's voice is cool and gritty, and it's got that grit to it, which may not lend itself that great to the song, but there's a twist to that. Because I felt like it didn't lend itself that well to the song at first. However, the grit in his voice and the way that he utilized it really connected him to the lyrics of the song for me. Because I feel like the grit was placed in different places strategically to kind of communicate the song. And I felt like there were points in the song where Reid was thinking. I felt like I saw him thinking and singing rather than just being and communicating the song. Yeah. So that, spoiler, is the thing that tipped it over for me. But I thought that their harmonies together were so nice. And I thought that it was really brave of them that they harmonized during that fast part, during that pre-chorus part that is pretty quick. And their harmonies are really nice and really spot on. Again, another theme of this show is the breath support of it all. Because the song is more mid-tempo, but even in those mid-tempos, don't let that fool you. You still need to know where you're breathing so you don't run out of breath. And they both did a great job with controlling their breath and controlling their vocal to, again, like you said, make this a Grammy level performance, but also really endearing at the same time. Like you said, it was like a jam session at the highest of high levels with two really distinctly different voices that should not have really gone together, in my opinion. But they made it work. They really made it work.
Really good.
Great
really,
job.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, who won?
Noah.
Yeah.
Noah won.
Yeah. Noah's got that something special, like that grit in his voice, that Appalachia, as I like to say, in his voice is just it's very special.
It is.
Very.
It is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, who do we have next?
Up next was from Team John. We had Aଦ୍AN and we had Taylor Deneen, and they sang "Do It, Do It, Do It" by Chloe and Heilig.
Did you see Now singing?
No. Did you see Miss Reba? Miss Reba said, "Do it, do it, do it." I said, "You better dance in your chair, ma'am." She was really so cute.
What I'm about to say is actually a compliment to Aଦ୍AN and Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would not have picked this song for these incredible voices.
Yeah.
Both of them are two of the strongest singers on this show. And I understand that, like, you know, it's a Now song. It's, you know, Heilig is everywhere with the Little Mermaid and everything. And she's coming up in the color purple. And I get it. And they're very Now artists. But I need voices like these. And granted, I'm foreshadowing a little bit. We'll get to hear more. But I need voices like these to really be showcased. And that's just a personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I do like, though, is it really did bring out let us see the perform. I mean, we've already saw it in Aଦ୍AN, but it really let us see more of how dynamic of a performer she is. Like, you can't take your eyes off of her.
Right.
You just everywhere she's on the stage, like your eyes are just following. You're like, well, what's she going to do next? It's like, I told Stephanie this last night. It's almost like a Beyonce type aura that she exudes.
Yes.
Exudes?
Yes.
Exudes, excuse me. Yes.
Yes.
I'm right. You know, using my fancy words.
You better use them college words you paid for.
That she exudes. and I just couldn't take my eyes off her. But let me tell you, Miss Taylor brought her performance factor. Miss Taylor said, okay, I'm with someone who's got a murderous voice.
Yes.
And she's a murderous performer.
That's right.
I need to bring my performance factor up because I got a voice that can sing anybody down on this show.
That's right.
Okay? She was one of those 4 chairs, like boom, 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 boom.
That's right.
like people didn't even hesitate.
Right.
She sang Redbone, right?
Yes.
So again,
she said, "Dang!" Pop.
like people were like, "Oh no!" She's like, she's one of those first note 4 chair types. Like you hear the first note, you're like,
"Dang!" Pop.
I said, "Whoop." And so she's like, I need to bring my performance factor up. And let me tell you, not only could I not keep my eyes off of Aଦ୍AN, I couldn't keep my eyes off of Taylor. Taylor was working that stage.
Do it.
I said, Stephanie, the breath control and breath support of it all. As Stephanie said, this was crazy that they did not miss. There was no compromise in the tone, in the pitch, in the intonation. There was no compromise. And that to me, look, I don't know if they were in the gym getting ready for this.
Do it.
Singing it, because that's what Matthew Knowles used to do with Destiny's Child. He used to make them run sprints in heels.
In heels.
And I don't know if that was what was going on. because they went to Matthew Knowles School of Boot Camp, okay? Because they were singing it down. Taylor, your performance factor, you wowed me as much as AhdAN, and that is a huge compliment because AhdAN is the consummate performer, and so are you, young lady. So you should be very, very proud of yourself that you were like, you know what? I need to step my game up.
Yes.
I know I got the voice. I I need to get the performance because this young lady over here's got the voice and the performance.
That's right.
So I got to do something to match her. Okay.
That's right.
And I just thought that was great. And that's what I liked about it. Again, I don't want to talk too much about the song because I wasn't that big of a fan of the song for them. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do in future rounds. But the performance, I couldn't take my eyes off of either of them, Stephanie. What say you, Steph?
They were so evenly matched. And after watching the rehearsal, I didn't think it was going to be that way, especially when you see AhdAN's B-roll and she's talking about, you know, how she has a background in not only her vocal, but in dancing as well. And she brought all of that to the stage. She is a star. Like the charisma and the swag.
Like almost like a twinkle in her eye, right?
Yes, the charisma.
Like she just looked at the camera, loves her. Like she'll be like,
yes,
like a smirk, grin, but not pretentious.
No, it's just the charisma and the swag just drip off of her. And she has an outstanding vocal. Like her vocal is outstanding and her stage presence is out. She's a star. She's an absolute star. She made such cool melodic choices within this song that I was like, yes. Like it was so entertaining to watch her. And then you go over to Taylor and she's doing all the things. And like you said it brilliantly. Their vocal, neither one of them did not suffer. What was y'all doing, ladies? Because I can't get through the song that we always talk about, James, that we sing at worship. And we are not dancing. We are literally just moving. I can't get through it without losing my breath. The work y'all did in order to give this high level of a performance, vocally and choreography and everything was just and how in sync they were. Like, I would have thought that they was a group for like years, the way that they came together. But Miss Taylor, because I knew that I know this was out of your comfort zone. Kudos to you, sis, because you was really doing it in your own way. And it didn't come off inauthentic. It didn't come off like you were trying. It came off as you like just leveling up a little bit, just upping your stage presence and doing the movements how you would do them. And it just looked so good. And again, the flawless vocals by both of y'all. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. It was outstanding. Like James said, I don't know that I would pick this song because I want to hear y'all sing. This is The Voice. However, y'all took advantage of what the song gave you as far as stage presence and as far as being able to throw in the vocals that you did, not throw in. You chose what you did vocally to maximize what you could do vocally with this song. And it was outstanding. Anytime y'all got Miss Reba in her chair, do it. I said, you better work your little hips in that chair, Miss Reba. It was outstanding. Outstanding.
One of the other things that I loved about AhdAN is that because sometimes a seasoned performer can upstage, and I'm not even talking about upstage intentionally because that's rude and that's unprofessional as far as I'm concerned. But they can just naturally upstage. And I felt, not that I felt like AhdAN's level came down, but I felt like Stephanie said, they were so evenly matched, both the vocal and the performance aspect. I felt like there was no upstaging, even though she is the more seasoned performer.
Right.
I just thought that was, speaks to the professionalism of AhdAN.
That's right.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was awesome. Awesome, ladies. Not so much about the song, but you know what? I'll just go ahead and spoil it. You were both rewarded for it.
Absolutely.
Because
Coach John picked Taylor to move on in the competition. So Taylor moved on. Aଦ୍AN got time to give, say to John, anything she wanted to say. And then bop, bop, double bop, 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 which Carson is hilarious. Carson didn't even know it at first. He was like, wait, there's another one.
Charged.
She charged Niall. And then Reba was like, double stick.
And then Niall like fell down and he was like,
oh crap. So in the end, Aଦ୍AN chose Niall to move on to the knockouts with.
You know why I like this pairing? Wow. I like this pairing because I think Aଦ୍AN's going to show Niall some things too.
I think so too.
I think it's going to be very symbiotic. I think he's going to give her some of the singer-songwriter approach and telling the story.
Yes.
And he's going to show him, well, I was thinking of going this way because she's the consummate performer, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it's a really good match.
Absolutely.
It's going to take her artistry to the next level.
And here's why Aଦ୍AN's my girl. Here's why you my girl, sis. Because when she walked off the stage, she looked over at Reba and she was like, remember me in the knockouts. She's like, remember me. I was like, yes, you better shoot your shot and let her know, Miss Reba. Should something happen in the next round, I'm good to come to you too. All opportunities are open. So
look, I ain't mad at you, Aଦ୍AN.
I ain't mad either. Shoot your shot.
Look, don't hate the player, hate the game.
I know that's right.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So who do we have next?
Oh Lord, if I can get through this without crying, it would be great. So we have.
I know who it is. Shoot. Hey, y'all, we can't even announce it.
Okay. So it's from Team Niall. It was Alexa Wildish versus Lavender. And they sang Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish.
Probably in my top 3 so far of battles. In my top 3. If not number 1. I mean, we haven't seen all the battles yet, but it's going to stay in my top 3. I don't care if Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson come back to life. I don't care. This was ladies, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. First of all, the song is everything, as Billy says, everything I ever wanted. It's just everything. And when it's done right, and it's interesting. So I called Stephanie this morning and I said, I need you to go back and listen to this because I've been listening to it all morning. And Stephanie said, James, I only got a chance to listen to it once.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, well then when you listen to it, I need you to call me after you go back and really listen to it where you're not taking notes and not listening to it for the first time. And I need you to really, really listen to everything that these ladies, I'm not even going to call them ladies, that these artists were giving us in this song. Everything. And y'all see I took off my glasses for this because it's how serious it is. I said, and then y'all, I went out to do some leads because it's Halloween. Hey, happy Halloween, by the way. I see your nails. It's Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Are together for all these trick-or-treaters that are coming. I'm sorry to digress for a second, but I missed Stephanie's call, but then I checked my phone and I called her. And she said, yo, I need some emotional support. I need some emotional support. I said, Stephanie, I said, first of all, this is one of the greatest in battle. If we're talking battles, this is one of the greatest entrances, not entrance, entrances, because both of them had their own separate, complete soloed entrance. And it was basically the same melody
Yes.
into the song.
Yes.
Lavender first, and
Yes.
then Lexa, right? And then, so let me talk about what Lavender did. It was this. Stephanie, how's the line? How's the song open? What's the lyric?
I had a dream.
She's like, I had a dream.
Yes. Yes.
I said, Lavender, stop it, It's too much. I said, it's too much, sis. It's too much. You're hitting me right here. You're killing me, Smalls. Like you're hitting me right here. I said, it's too much. And then I had a dream. Like I can't even do it. I can't even do it justice. I'm not gonna imitate you ladies because it was so crazy because Alexa came in with the same melody, but she gave me like this straight tone, breathy, airy, like Gwen called it, of another era, of another world voice. I said, you want to talk about in the cut, chill, so right singing. I said, that's what this was. It was they were both in the cut. Mm-hmm. They were both so chill. They made it look effortless, but I said it was so right. I said, Lavender's vibrato is sexy. She has a sexy vibrato.
Absolutely.
Like, sexy is the best word I can use to describe her vibrato. I said, doggone it, Alexa. I said, stop it. Stop it with the vibrato, trill, straight tone. I don't even know, sis. I don't even know what you were doing. I don't know what you were doing. But then, Alexa, when you sang the line, head was underwater. And you sang just somebody's daughter. Those lines. I said, that's when I saw it. I said, nobody. I have never seen anyone come on this show and phrase the way this young lady has phrases a lyric. Chills. I'm going to let Stephanie talk a little bit more to that. I said, I hear a lot of Florence Welch, Florence and the Machine in her voice. I hear some Stevie Nicks, of course, but I also hear all Alexa. I said, you know how you say the famous saying, I can't take my eyes off of someone? I said, I can't take my ears off of Lavender's voice. I can't take my ears off of it. I said, Lavender, your voice, I just could listen to you sing all day long.
Yes.
Hotline Bling. You brought the same artistry that you brought to your blinds that you brought to this. And I just was mesmerized.
Yeah.
I said, the unison at the end was so sensational because these are two women with, polar opposite voices.
Right.
What they did through the harmonies, and I believe Alexa was on top most with the harmonies, but what they did to match each other in artistry, but completely different, but in harmony and unison singing, it was a clinic. It was a successful clinic. It was the most successful masterclass clinic that I have heard this season. Expert level singing that was done, but more importantly, expert level artistry. And that is what moved me. So I am going to let Stephanie take it because I want her to talk to something that we talked about earlier because I wanted her to notice something that I picked up from one of the artists who sang. Stephanie, what is your take on this masterpiece of performance?
Guide me if I miss what you're talking about because I think I know, but I don't know if I'm going to get there because I'm so all over the place right now because the part that you were just talking about, the chorus at the end, where they were both just singing in full voice, but somebody was on the melody, somebody was on the upper harmony.
Yeah.
This is so slight, but this is what left me undone. they both pointed when they said, if the lyrics, see yourself, if I could change the way that you see yourself. And they came, like their arms came back at the same time. And I was just like,
you see, Alexa was a mess. She was in a good way.
She was literally crying.
Yeah.
During the song. I'll start with Lavender. Ma'am, your voice is so special. It's so unique. You have such a signature sound. I call them, like what James was doing at the end of your phrases, I almost call them like frayed edges that almost lean to being sharp, but it's intentional. It's so cool. It's the coolest sound ever.
Yeah.
It sounds like old jazz that just belongs on a record. Like I want to hear your voice on scratchy records.
50s, right? 50s.
Like that 50s sound.
50s jazz, right?
Yeah. Yeah. With this really cool vibrato at the end of it. It's so stunning. Yeah. It's so stunning. I love what you were doing throughout this whole song, throughout this whole performance, Lavender. Alexa, you are a vocal clinician. The things that you were doing with your phrases, like James said, I've never heard. Every word that you sang, you sung them in a way that accentuated what you were singing. Correct. Every line. There was one in particular that I remember, something about it was a nightmare. And your voice had been up in a higher part and it came down to nightmare. And I was just like, what are you? Every lyric coming off of your lips, you sang it in a way that spoke the message of the song. There were moments where the band was waiting for you.
That's what I wanted you to talk about.
And the band don't just wait, because James and I had this conversation earlier about how much of the story of the song the band tells, right?
It's in Billy and Phineas's orchestration, right? Instrumental.
Yes.
It's the song. It's in the music.
Yes. And in any of the great songs, we feel this. We feel that. We feel how the band is an intricate part of telling the story of the song. We unconsciously know it, but I really appreciated James bringing that to the forward of my mind to really make me consider that more as I'm listening to songs and as I'm listening to performances. But the greatest compliment that we feel that the band on The Voice, because they're such skilled musicians, the greatest compliment that the band can give is to wait for the artist to see what they're going to do and then accompany what they're doing. And that's what they did for you, Alexa.
Yeah, that's the band complimenting you as a musician.
Yes.
Alexa.
Yes.
Not as a singer, as a musician.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
The dynamics she used, how she used her breath. There were parts where she just you could tell she was giving extra breath to different lyrics. Her timing, the timing that she used to deliver the lyrics was so impactful. Like it really supported points of the lyrics that needed to be accentuated. Like she used that timing that way. I felt like all of Alexa's performance was come on choices. Like, it was just the choices that she made.
Choice. Like, we're going to just keep listening. It's going to be one of those ones, Stephanie, we keep listening back and catching new things.
Y'all, this song, I can barely say the name of the title of the song without tearing up. And I need to do some counseling to see why, y'all, because every single time, I'm like, why does this song do this to me? Thank you both for the work that you put in for this song to make it the spectacular performance. I'm not worthy. I feel like, wish y'all Venmo, wish y'all Cash App. I feel like I should be sending y'all money.
Right.
For what I witnessed for free on this voice. One last thing I wanted to mention. This is who Lavender sounded like to me in the second portion of the song. I heard some Halsey. I heard some Halsey in her voice.
Oh my gosh. That is so spot on, Stephanie.
Yeah, I heard
100% I heard Halsey.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great. Great comparison. Great comparison.
I will say this as my last thing because I have to give her a shout out. In season 21 of The Voice, in the knockouts, Libyanka did this song.
Yeah.
And it was, oh my goodness. It's
the one that you kept playing back.
That's the one that I kept playing back. So this one took me a minute, to be honest. I'm like, I don't know. It wasn't Libya.
Yeah.
That second listen did me in. I was driving. I should not have been because I'm like, whoa. That second chorus, I'm in the car like, hallelujah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was so good. All right, it was so good.
So, this one broke my heart. Who won?
Oh,
broke my heart.
Alexa won the battle, and unfortunately, Lavender did not get stolen.
This is my one this season where I'm just like, she should have been stolen. Lavender, you are a special artist. I know it's a show, I know it's TV, but you should have been stolen as far as the podcast is concerned.
Absolutely.
Because I thought it was just as beautiful. And you deserved, I wanted to hear you. I know America probably, I know Stephanie most definitely wanted to hear you sing again.
Yeah.
Oh, sis, good luck with everything, because you are an artist.
Absolutely.
You could make a record with a Hotline Bling. It'd be done.
Can we get that, please? Because that was dope. I need
send that to Drake. Please.
Please.
He needs to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, the next battle was a reel. We only got a snippet.
Quick clip.
So, who was that?
It was from Team Gwen. It was Jenna Marquis versus Claire Heilig, and they sang Flowers by Miley Cyrus. Like you said, we only heard a little bit. From what I could hear, Claire sang it well, just sang it straight up, no chaser. Her voice sounded beautiful with this song. Jenna has so much personality to her voice. Like she has such unique phrasing and such unique tone. Like she was really doing some very artistic things with her version of this song. And in the end, Jenna did win and moved on to the knockouts.
Jenna, can't wait to hear you in the knockouts, sis.
Yeah. Yes. Congratulations.
Big fan.
Yes.
Okay.
So
this last one, I gotta stretch. I got
listen. As if we have not already been through. But since James has told me in a previous conversation that he wrote a whole dissertation for this next performance, which was our last performance, I'm going to let him take the total lead on this one. And probably just offer
thumb cramps from texting so much. But I was able to condense it.
Okay.
And get my major points in. But I need you to flow with me, Steph and Pitchies. I need you to flow with me.
Oh, we got you.
I'm going to announce this one.
Okay.
Actually, no, Stephanie, I'll let you announce it because I didn't get their last names.
Okay. So it was from Team John, Team Legend. We had Elizabeth Evans versus Kaylee Shimizu, and they sang Traitor by Olivia Rodrigo.
Lowercase t.
Lowercase t.
Now, I'm a big fan of Olivia's work. My 14-year-old high school freshman introduced me to Olivia, and I know Olivia's second album dropped, which was also just fire.
Mm-hmm.
And she's I think she is a talent that has a lot of staying power. Now talent that has a lot of staying power, which is a former Disney kid. I'm telling you, Disney puts out those stars, you all.
Play.
So let me just run it down, and then I'm gonna get into a little bit of what I saw, because this was an experience for me. Okay, this is how I don't understand how I had two top threes in one show. Okay, we had and they're from these young artists, right? And
Yeah.
to me, artists like Olivia and Billy like give me hope for our youth and our future
Yes.
musicians, right?
Yes, yes.
Because I'm just like, okay, you got Olivia Rodrigo, you got Billie Eilish. Okay, there is music's in good hands,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because I love Olivia, like, because she to me is the queen, or we'll say princess, because she's very young,
Mm-hmm.
of all the emotions you feel as a teen.
Come
like
on.
all of the heightened emotions in a breakup, like where, as an adult, you look back and you're like, oh gosh, I was so foolish. I was so dumb. But during that time, Stephanie, like you're like, it's the world ends, right?
That's right.
And
That's
I
right.
think that Olivia is the queen of writing music like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, this was number one, incredible vocal by both, but it's just so much more than that. So flow with me for a minute, Stephanie.
Yeah.
I said, both of you all told the story from a different perspective and completely different energy, and it worked. I said, what I saw after probably the 10th time, no, I started, something started to kind of form in my head of a story.
Okay.
I said, no. I said, this story could have gone either way because they emoted it so well. So flow with me for a minute. So I felt like it was like two friends, right? It was two friends, and maybe their homegirl was behind her, whose heart was broken. And they were like standing in honor of their friend.
That's right.
And I felt like Kaylee was the friend with the attitude. Like, you betrayed her. Like, you could have changed the lyric.
Oh, that's the me friend.
Right.
That's the me friend. Like, oh yeah.
You broke my girl's heart. And I got a word, I'm about to tell you off. Like, she's like, she was like looking like this. She was looking like this, like neck almost. And I was like, okay.
Right.
That was Kaylee. I said, she was the attitude, getting your face friend.
Yes.
I said, but Elizabeth was the cray-cray, go ballistic on you friend.
Listen,
okay? So you got attitude, you got cray-cray.
That's right.
Double trouble. And the dude's just sitting there like this. Because you got one girl going this, and you got one girl going like this.
Yes.
And I said, the soul of it all. Kaylee, and I said, and the originality of it all, Elizabeth. I said, Elizabeth, if you and a few of the previous contestants are coming out of a school like Belmont University, if I could do school all over again, I would not have gone to the conservatory. I would have gone to Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee, because let me tell you, not only is Belmont turning out crazy singers like Yeba, okay,
come on,
but Belmont, to me, is turning out some of the most original sounding singers I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That are just like coming out, and they're coming out in droves, and it's kind of scary. So I want to know what's going on in Belmont University. I was like, James, why didn't you go there for undergrad? But that was back in the 90s, so it didn't. I said, the thing about Elizabeth, I said, it's just a different kind of artistry that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Kaylee, young lady, I'm gonna need to check the birth certificate, because if you didn't look, because you look young, so that's how I know that you're the teenager that you are. But you're talking about, you just get your heart's been broken, like you said in your story. Your heart's been broken a few times. You just graduated from high school,
right?
And I'm just like, yo, I said, I need to check the birth certificate. It's just, I said, it's just. Kaylee gave us such advanced execution.
Right.
That even when you hear a 17-year-old with an incredible voice, I just thought that Kaylee's execution of it was so just far beyond her years.
Yes.
It was just so a different level of vocal maturity.
Right.
I said, but the thing about Elizabeth that I could not take my ears off of was the way, this goes back to Stephanie's like analogy with dancers. Like the dancers that I want to see dance all the way to their fingertips and their toes, right?
That's right.
I said, the way Elizabeth ended every phrase with those original ornamentations was some of the most ridiculous singing I've ever heard. Like, period. Not just on The Voice. I'm talking about period, Elizabeth. Sis, John said it. Like, where do you come up with your choices?
Choices.
And that's why I called you the cray cray friend, right? That's why I called you the cray cray friend. Now, another story I could have gone with was the one guy, two girls finding out that the same guy did the same thing to them at the same time, that they were cheated on at the same time. Like, like I felt like they could have done it that way because of the way they were interacting, but I was getting the girls behind them. These are two girls. One's the attitude girl, one's the cray cray girl, and they're getting up in the dude's face and giving them all that. And that's why I called you the cray cray friend, Elizabeth, because you were doing crazy things to your voice. Like,
and unexpected, because that cray cray friend will act like she's giving you the business up front, but then stab you in the back. Exactly.
And you're like,
where'd that come from? Shocking.
Do I have a knife in my chest?
In my chest. In my back. In my back. Because she went whoop.
Right.
Because she cray.
Because she went crazy on you, and it just happened so fast.
That's right.
And that's the thing. If you go back and listen to Elizabeth's vocal, everything that she does is so slight, and it happens so fast. You got to listen very, very closely because it's so magical. It's so out of this. Like, she makes up notes, like notes that aren't on the scale. Like, it's crazy, and it's just so slight. And I just. Sis, you are sensational. Sensational. You are a sensational artist. You are a sensational singer. You are a sensational musician. I think the band hears the craziness that you do with your voice, Elizabeth. And Kaylee, you're like the sounds coming out your throat. It's like you giving me Jennifer Hudson. You giving me everything. You give me Mary. You give me everything.
Yes.
Every soul singer. I'm sorry. I know I've talked a long time.
It's okay.
I got the entire story. That's what I saw. Now, that's maybe, ladies, what you weren't trying to do, but I saw attitude friend. I saw crazy friend getting up in the dude's face, and it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. I won't say much more. What I will say is, Kaylee, you was giving us a grown woman in your throat. Like, you were giving grown woman vocal. Like James said, you Jennifer Hudson'd this song because there was so much power and so much stank, control, conviction, grit, growl. There was an interesting thing, though, that I did see in the B-roll that I did want to, not in the B-roll, in the rehearsal. John told her not to run so much in this song, which I thought was interesting because that was an initial critique that I had when I saw this initially on YouTube when they released it on Friday. It was like, it was like, okay, she gave an incredible vocal, but she didn't add all the flourishes that Elizabeth did. For the most part, Kaylee sang it straight.
Yep.
And now I can see why she made that choice, or one of the reasons why she might have made that choice, but it did not take away from the power of her performance. It made my alto heart so happy to hear her sing that song because it was all up in the alto deliciousness range. That
her voice was like liquid velvet. Like,
it was. I can't believe she's 17 singing like that. Like the grown woman coming out of her throat. Elizabeth. Oh my goodness. I told James, you are Hayley Williams 2.0. Like, you just, the things that you do that are so I don't know where you come up with some of the things that you come up with as far as the melodic choices and the melodic differences and alterations that you make to the song that are so perfect. Like, they're like these sweet surprises that are just like, oh my, how'd she do that? Where did she think to do that? How did she come up with it? But it's perfect. And it's not a shock. It's like just so slight. And it's just like, oh my goodness.
But then the straight, like, controlled screaming.
No,
right?
But then the belt of it all, the controlled holleration of it all, that's almost crazier than the surprises, because it's just like, and it's insane.
She doesn't sing at you; she sings through you. Her voice sings through.
Come on, cutthroat voice. Yes, that's perfect, James. That's perfect.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she sings through you. I don't know what else to say. The staging of it, I loved it. The performance of it, like Kaylee was literally with her arms, like with the two fingers, like, I'ma tell you something about yourself. Like, it was insane. And again, the breath support of it all, because to even perform at that level, just the movement of the body and the passion and the intensity of the performance, don't think that you don't have to have good breath support to do that either. Like, that takes great technique as far as breath control as well. So, ladies,
I love the part where Kaylee said, da 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 da. Like, it was all attitude.
Yes,
I loved it. I loved it.
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
it was so good. It was so good. I'm so glad we had the weekend to marinate on that one.
Oh, that was the leak, y'all. That was the leak. So, real quick before we talk about, because we got to wrap this up because we've been going a long time.
Yeah.
One thing I loved, and I thought it was like the humanity of it all, is when it was over, like, they were two giggly little girls.
You were like, yeah, we did it.
Like we nailed it.
We did it.
It was beautiful. It was cute.
Yes, it was. Yes, absolutely.
So who do we have?
Ooh, so John picked Kaylee to move forward with Team Legend to the knockouts. And then Elizabeth was
better. You better.
Stolen. It was just one bop. Stolen by Reba. Yeah, Reba, she better have been.
If y'all remember, Reba said, I'm holding out for someone. This was the I'm holding out for someone.
Yeah.
It was almost like they made a deal in the background.
Yeah.
I could tell Reba really wanted Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And she got her.
Yes.
So that's going to be amazing, because Reba's not going to take anything away from her voice. Reba's all about the performance, y'all.
That's right. That's right.
That's why I think she really likes Elizabeth.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. What a night, Stephanie. Unbelievable. 2 of my top 3 battles of the season. I'm convinced, because they're going to do something next week to knock those 2 out for me last night. So
we got another one tonight, so it might come tonight.
So we'll be back to record later today. So if you see us in the same outfits, but it's dark outside, hey, this is Real Lives. It's Halloween. We're trying to fit it all in.
That's right.
So everyone have a safe evening. And until we meet you all again tonight, we are looking forward to it. Stephanie, tell them what they need to hear.
So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode, and check us out on YouTube. Search for The Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. And last, do not forget to follow us on Instagram at The Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more.
Let me get back out these leaves, sis.
Come on.
All right, I'll see you later.
Bye.